Cypress-Medicine hat, followed by Edmonton Gold Bar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The imposition of the Sage Grouse Protection Order has many southern Albertans worried about their economic future and the future of their communities. The restrictive provisions of the Protection Order risk reduced revenues not only for oil and gas, but also for ranchers and municipalities. Meanwhile, this government is silent. Can the minister tell me when the province will stand up for ranchers and municipalities who together are the best local stewards of the land?
Is that the Minister of ESRD?
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for the question. Mr. Speaker, we as a provincial government weren't very happy either with the fact that the federal government put their order in place. As a matter of fact, we weren't very happy that we got the order the afternoon before they did the next day. But, Mr. Speaker, I have had discussions with our counterparts in Saskatchewan, and we are together going to work with the federal minister and see what we can do to make sure that the sage grouse area that is protected is done in a feasible manner, and to make sure that there's no economic hardship to people in the southeastern part of this province.
Honourable Minister, honourable member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Given that the PC government's South Saskatchewan Regional Advisory Council called for a 4,200 square kilometre expansion of a conservation area in Cypress-Medicine hat, again to the minister, did the province purposely neglect taking action on protecting the sage grouse in order to allow the federal government to establish a conservation area?
Honourable Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, nothing could be from the truth. Mr. Speaker, we understand that the sage grouse was a species at risk. And again, Mr. Speaker, the federal government has SARA, which is federal legislation, and I will say to you that causes me nothing but angst, because we do have areas in this province that we do have species at risk. But it's imperative for us to work with the federal government, to work with stakeholders and landowners all across this province to do what we can. Mr. Speaker, I must also say that if the honourable member wants to put his anger at some people, I mean, again, things happen in southeastern BC, for example, where we put nesting for hawks and other raptors down there, and these raptors are sitting on these fences and sitting on these power lines, and they're looking down and they're picking off the sage grouse.
Final supplemental.
Thank you again, Mr. Speaker. Given that the population of the sage grouse has been declining since the 1960s, and knowing that the PCs have had decades in government to produce solutions to help the sage grouse, why do ranchers, oil and gas, and municipalities in the area have to pay for this PC lack of attention?
Honourable Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, we have worked on this for a long time. We've always wanted to have a good relationship with Montana and Saskatchewan. And I guess the bottom line is, Mr. Speaker, is we appreciate private landowners' rights, and we're about to trample on them. So that's where we're at today.